This is the most devastating Knicks loss of all time. Worse than the Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was 8 points in 9 seconds. The choke sign to Spike Lee. Okay. And the Knicks won the series. Okay? And the Knicks went on to win that series. This is blowing a 14-point lead, doing something that since they were keeping track in the mid-90s, no team in the history of the game had ever blown a 14-point lead with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the game. 977-0. Now 977-1. That's how devastating this is. The fact it's the Pacers, the Knicks' biggest playoff rival for the past 30 years. Okay, if you've been watching the last couple of days, look at all the big highlights, right? The fact that Halliburton hits the shot that bounces off the back of the iron, 8 feet in the air, back down through to force overtime, and he does the choke gesture. That's a highlight that's going to live forever in NBA history. They're going to play the crap out of that thing for the rest of my life, your life, and everybody. Unborn children are going to see that highlight and go, wow, I can't believe that. Yes, that was in May of 2025. The miracle comeback where all they did was keep hitting threes, and Aaron Nesmith hit 6 threes in the fourth quarter and scores 20 points. He's not even their best player. And then you go to overtime, and Obi Toppin is making the biggest shots of the game with 2 dunks that give the Pacers the win. There is no more devastating loss in Knicks history than tonight. I'm done. I'm mentally shot. Again, I don't know how the Knicks come back from this. I don't know how anybody comes back from this. I get, hey, let's put a positive face on this, but dude, sometimes you got to just understand, what did you just see? And sometimes game ones are, it's just game one, and sometimes game ones are, this is the whole series. If the Knicks came out and lost by 20 in game 2, I'd get it. I completely
I'll say this,
get it.
though. This is a squad, to a man, that we've watched, and they're resilient. Now, obviously, the final 2.5 minutes, 2:51 plus overtime, absolute chaos. And I know for you, after the choke signal from Halliburton, you've never wanted to win a game more, because then it goes into the ether. All right, he made the gesture, Knicks rally, finish the job in OT. Instead, it lives on forever. When we talk about Nesmith and the game that he had 8 20-point games all season long, one of which was against the Knicks going back to the end of December, but generally a guy that is in the low teens when you're talking about his output on a nightly basis when he is an offensive threat. And so when he finds the stroke, and they scored 51 points between the fourth quarter and overtime, 8 of 14 from three-point range, and just absolutely caught fire. 8 assists, moving the ball well, and that was one of the things you saw were the tired legs. And I had thought, as we came on the air 2 hours ago and we're watching the Knicks, they'd bought Jalen Brunson such precious time in the second quarter. Okay, cool. He's going to be fresh. Then he gets in foul trouble. Again, they're able to weather the storm. So all things point to Knicks, and then they have the defensive struggles trying to close out wide open, flying at guys, leaving your feet, right? All the principles of good defense. Don't give up the space. Nope. You gave up the high ground. Anakin, I have the high ground. Don't do it. And wide open looks that they would hit time and time again. So all of that to say, everything that could go wrong in those final minutes did. So I would feel confident that this isn't a team that's going to turtle. That you've got, the reset, that while this is a miserable loss, it's one game.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's losses and there's all-time losses. This is an all-time
Sure. All
loss.
The stats that you've cited, absolutely.
All time. You want another one?
Yeah.
Since 1997.
Uh-oh.
Okay, since 1997.
Mm-hmm. So about 30 years, yeah.
Teams leading by 9 points with 50 seconds left to go, coming into tonight, were 1,414 wins and no losses. 1,414-0 with 50 seconds left in a game coming into tonight. What? 1,000, not 100-0, not 500-0, 1,414 wins.
Take that for data.
And no losses.
Next, yeah.
You know what's funny is I had to try to really lay out for folks why the Mr. Overrated thing was statistically relevant. Because there were 90 guys. Even if only 14 voted for Halliburton, it still was statistically relevant. A sample size of 1,400 plus certainly is as well.
Worst loss in Knicks history. And now, see, because the thing is, I'm a firm believer that in life, when you have moments that shock you, that don't go your way, right? And there's a different degree of moments that don't go your way, that you wind up not realizing how big they are at the time. You think, okay, that's a big deal, but okay, I'll get past it. And you don't realize until years later, going, man, that really changed my life. I still think about that. It's just absolutely terrible. It's awful. You don't think about it. Like in sports, this is one of those moments. Like strictly sports-wise is what I'm saying here. Like strictly sports-wise, this is one of those moments. I'm never going to get over this one. Do I really think the Knicks going to win this series? Are the Knicks going to win a game? Really? I mean, I don't know. I don't even have fight for crazy Rick Carlisle and smiling Tyrese Halliburton with the choke job. I don't have fight for that right now. I am a beaten guy. I am just down.
Because there were two guys that I really want, beyond obviously you, and I knew we were talking to Rick Bucher, who has ridden the lightning with us for a long time here on Fox Sports Radio, was Tyrese Halliburton's dad, and now we're starting to get video of him and his celebration. And really, we don't know about Chalamet, but we knew Spike Lee was in Cannes for the film festival.
Yeah.
It's like 4 a.m. there.
Yeah.
You think he stayed up and watched?
Oh, sure he did. No, sure, yeah, 100%.
Is he now walking,
Yeah.
Did they get him a private access like to Louvre or something
I'm
so
sure
he can at
he's
least
on his way to
look at some
Giannis's
beauty?
Yeah, he's on his way to Giannis' house. Go, hey, man, come on in. We need you. We wouldn't have given up all those points at the end if we had you. Hey, at least, there's your silver lining. Hey, the Knicks lose this series, they'll go get Giannis.
There is that, right? I would suspect we might have had a little bit of a sea change with the odds for his next team over the last, hour.
But here's the thing. Right now, I want to go live in a cabin in the woods for a month with no phone, no internet, no television. I want
that was a horror movie,
I want to catch my own food and hunt and I'm not a hunter. I can't. I
so basically, you want to be Aaron Rodgers.
I want to go and buy a bunch of food that I can just sit.
Oh, okay.
And just sit by a stream and read.
Ayahuasca
no, I'm not. I need lights.
You're gonna break your ankle?
Yeah, no. I want to just go and just not see or talk to anybody for like a month. Like that's what I want to do. I want to go for a month and just comfortable bed. Other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Other people with me? No. You want your loved ones? No. I want no one. I want absolutely no one. I want a bunch of books that I've wanted to read. And that's what I'm going to do all day is I'm going to go for walks and I'm going to read books. That's all I want to do. I don't want to know nothing for a month. I'll see you in a month. Because I got this series, that the Mets are going to have the Dodgers for 6 games and the Yankees again, and that's not going to go great. And Soto's going to keep not swinging at pitches. No, I want to not see anybody for a month.
See, I just saw a promo for the upcoming Dodgers-Mets series. There's a game I'd kind of like that giveaway. Should I take the group out on a field trip and we take a day off as a group and go? And it's like, I don't think that's going to help. So now it would be money poorly spent.
I want to not see anybody for a month. Now, I said this, so we got to hear. Look, I don't even know if I have the energy right now to fight this. You know how I feel about Rick Carlisle and all the complaining he does about New York.
Well, you were mocking him coming into the game.
Rick Carlisle, who never wanted to say things to fire up the Knicks, right? He was always that guy. He's never one, I don't want to fire up another fan, another group. But was asked following the game tonight about Halliburton's choke gesture following the shot at the end of regulation. What'd you think about that? Here's Rick Carlisle from just a few minutes ago in his giddy post-game press conference.
Players can do what they want, and it's an emotional thing. This is a difficult time of the year, so it's not a big deal to me.
Well done, Dustin.
Tyrese has earned the right to do whatever he wants.
Okay. In other words, blank you, Knicks. How do you feel about that? Do whatever. He earned the right to do whatever the hell he wants to. Okay. That is a guy feeling it right now.
We didn't even get the politically correct
No.
Well, it's not something we really.
This is like Game of
espouse as a
Thrones,
game-
where I'm not just going to kill you. I'm going to kill you, cut off your head, and put it on the table while we all drink from the
get some
steins,
mead, yeah.
the steins of death or whatever it is. And I'm going to pass your head around, and we're all going to bat it with a pinata, like a pinata. That's what that was right there. Well, that happened in Game of Thrones, right? Right, Tyson?
Spoiler.
But that happened in Game of Thrones,
It's
right?
a red wedding.
I don't know,
Okay.
but I mean, you've had
Not the purple wedding.
but you've had a
Not
decade.
the purple. Okay.
I mean, they haven't really done anything new in that world for
But
a
that-
while, right? I mean,
But this is not.
I didn't watch it. I won't watch it, so I don't care.
The only silver lining, and again, I try to. So again, we're closer to Giannis. The Mets won tonight, and I do get a little bit of the Pacers feeling very self-satisfied following this game.
Well,
right?
I mean, it's
And
another
okay.
huge comeback. It's something that they've now made their brand, right? As you
Yeah.
alluded to, right?
Yeah.
3 times
Yeah.
doing this inside of final minute. So, yeah, you're going to lean into it, and I guess you're going to lean into shenanigans like choke signals from Halliburton.